Hello, you're watching Avenue X, where a junkie on good storytelling shares her thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. And this is the final review on the drama 梦华录, A Dream of Splendor. First, I'll let you know what is my final verdict. I'll give it a 2 gold mine rating. And in this video, I'm gonna first talk about how this drama has performed in China and the kind of stages it has gone through. Then we're gonna talk about the not ideal part of this drama, and then what I like about this drama. So let's begin with a brief recap of the extraordinary journey of 梦华录. In China, because it got so popular and so hot, it attracted, in my opinion, a lot of over-analysis. A lot of different groups of people having different intentions of basically rubbing off its popularity. When it's so hot, if you talk about it, whether you say good things about it or bad things about it, you're gonna get a lot of traffic. And traffic means ad money on all kinds of social media platforms, and there are a lot of people in this game. So you can see a whole army of people attacking this drama from all angles imaginable and unimaginable, then a whole army of people defending it. Nobody paid me any money, and I'm not standing on either side of the things. I'm just watching it afar and enjoying the melon. A couple of days ago, the main credited scriptwriter I mentioned in the first review deleted her Weibo account, and her reason being she's getting too much internet bullying. That's not the first time we've seen that happening to scriptwriters of very popular dramas. This drama received a turn of public, I'll have quotation mark, opinion after its airing about 14 to 16 episodes due to, first, one of the main characters said something that got pulled out and I think over-criticized. And starting from that point, things went out of control. There started to have a group of people who decided they're gonna analyze this drama and find fault in it. It has done this wrong, that wrong, it's against 21st century value, blah blah blah, it's a backward thinking, all that type of thing. Some of the points are valid, but I think the level of criticism and hatred people had for this drama, which later also extended to hatred of certain actresses, are just ridiculous in nature. It's just a period drama. If you don't like it, turn away. Nobody's force feeding you that. The first big problem came from this character saying to Song Yinzhang that only those prostitutes who sell their bodies are 贱. We have skills, we don't do that, therefore we shouldn't feel ashamed. And this is truly a little bit questionable. First is, historically, if you're in that position, it's just unimaginable that you would criticize the same people who basically are belonging to the same class. And doing the same job as you do. You are the exploited class of the society, right? It's a little bit ridiculous. So I see that. And then in 21st century, women's rights, feminism, all that, they really didn't need to put that line in. They just cut it out, wouldn't affect anything, wouldn't give them the problem. And that's where the whole thing started. A couple of episodes later, when the two leads come together officially, kind of, they let each other know their backgrounds. And there's definitely an emphasis on both of them are virgins, which also got laughed at on China's internet. One thing is, realistically, back in Song Dynasty, people's life expectancy is 40 years old. The guy is already 30 and the girl is 24 or 5, and it's normal for people in their early 30s to be grandfathers. So it's quite unimaginable that they're virgins. Because she used to be in that environment, it's unlikely she can keep that. And then for him, even though his so-called parents, the parents who raised him, are dead, there are family clans back then. The Gu family cannot just have nobody left apart from him. And those elders of the family will have to have already arranged marriage for him, or even having a few concubines. Emphasizing on the whole, both of them are virgins, which is something that happens to web novels these days in Chinese. Web novel land that is heavily criticized by a lot of people. So I see where people are coming from. I do agree they didn't have to do that. They didn't even have to bring it up. And then later you do realize that that guy who is later gonna marry Sanyang is also kind of a virgin. He doesn't even have a hen. So this drama does have that sense of overemphasis on certain things that does not fit historical facts, also does not fit today's ideas about important things. So my point is, I see that. I do think there is a level of backwardness in this whole idea of virginity, but I don't think the hate that the drama gets, and consequently almost every word this drama says and every plot turns, people would manipulate and interpret in the negative angle. The attack on this drama and certain actresses and their characters just start to go out of control on China's internet. It becomes a hate game, which I just totally cannot understand and I cannot second. Those are the quite exciting things about this drama outside of the drama itself. Also, because of its popularity, Tencent decided to do the dangerous thing, charging people extra money to watched the last 8 episodes in one go, 1 week earlier than normal, also getting all the actors back, having the ceremony, and then having quite a few actors sitting through the whole marathon of 8 hours airing the dramas, watching with the audiences at the same time. Now, I've shared what has happened to this drama. If you're international audiences, you haven't heard of any of those things, lucky you. Since I gave it a really positive rating, I'm gonna leave the things I like about this drama at the end. But first, let me talk about more analytically, more logically, the things that I think this drama can improve on. Had it done better, this drama can even get 3 gold mine. It just needs to fix a couple of things and it will make it immediately much better. In no particular order, first, this 40 episodes drama in its last quarter has too little of the male lead's presence. You cannot deny the fact. At the core of it, you're selling the story, not actually on the 3 girls' career thing, although it's very important. You actually want the share of the idol drama market, where a good-looking guy and a good-looking woman dressed in absolutely beautiful costumes have the best romantic story out there. That's what you're selling this drama on. You can dress it up with the girls and their career and there's the bond and all that, because it's a popular thing these days. We cannot deny that. But then you picked Chen Xiao. And you say, come on, as if we cannot see why you did that. And early on in this drama, what got a lot of people into watching this drama really is just the chemistry that works out so well. And at the beginning, the slightly unconventional romantic story that kind of turns on every trope you've seen. So you already set this up as a drama that everybody is just so looking forward to the development of their relationship. Then at the last quarter, how they write the story and pretty much putting the guy out of action for extensive period of time, and his reduced presence really affected audiences' psychological needs for him to be there, for that relationship to squeeze out the last bit of juice. I want more, basically. So I wasn't very happy. I think they could have tweaked the story a little bit so that they wouldn't put him out of action for so much time and just give him a little bit more presence. The second problem of this drama that I've noticed after watching it more than twice for each episode, because I've been doing edits, I've been doing drawings, so I paid a lot of attention to pretty much every episode. I'm feeling this drama is written by more than one person, although it ended up being credited to this main scriptwriter, or it had got a lot of doctoring after the final draft, where on set or whoever had the power to change certain things started to mess up with little details, therefore things don't quite connect. Let me give you an example that carried through details. From very early on in this drama, there's this lady who jumps out criticizing Gu Qianfan in episode 2 when he goes to the Yang Yunpan's home trying to get that painting. And that lady is the lady Su who used to live on the same street as the Gu and Chi family, where Chi Yanei, after the opening of the restaurant, told Zhao Pan'er about his childhood with Gu Qianfan. There he mentioned that there's a lady named Su married to a young person who know about the Gu family. Therefore, that old lady at the beginning of the drama jumping out and criticizing Gu Qianfan, at that point you probably don't realize what's going on. After you watch the whole drama, you see, okay, that's something that's been buried a long time ago. So with that, you can see there definitely was a person who actually looked through the whole thing and making sure things connect. But then, there are also things that don't connect, such as the complicated question logically doesn't work out for Zhao Pan'er and the 3,000 guan money. At around episode 18, when Gu Qianfan and Zhao Pan'er had that conversation, he took out the pouch that has 3 of his housing certificates and 4 keys and gave it to her and told her, this is everything I've collected and earned in my over 10 years of being an official. And this is proving that I seriously want to marry you as my proper wife. And that thing has been with her until after 35 when she chucks it out of the window. The certificate of the land and housing and everything Gu Qianfan owns is with her all the time. So during where she lost contact with him and she's almost losing hope and her previous tea shop and her future restaurant, she went to ask Chi Yanei for help and kneeled in front of him. Went through a lot of trauma because she didn't know the money is already at her place due to the wind incident. I know, she may be, because the drama didn't explain, she may be just it doesn't belong to me, okay? It's his property, and he's not to be found, and he hasn't taken this back, so I wouldn't use it. But if that's the case of the drama, they should give it just one scene to show that she thought about whether I should either go to a pawn shop, get money from those certificate of lands, argue with herself and stop doing that. They should just give it one scene. It feels like the scriptwriter has forgotten basically about the fact that she has all the money in the house on her hands. And if you say, because she is not really the owner, she is only keeping it, and on it the name said Gu Qianfan, so she really couldn't actually get it pawned or sold in any way. Okay, if that's the case, then how did Gu Qianfan got the 3,000 guan and put it under her window? Because later, when she did discover that piece of bank certificate, Chen Lian came in and told her that Gu Qianfan sold his property to get the 3,000 guan. So, when they weren't in contact, when all the things are with her, how did he sell his properties and get money? You have to figure out a logical way for that whole thing to work. Either it's this way or that way. It cannot be both ways at the same time. And there are a couple of other details like that in this drama. And I'm not gonna point them one by one because this video is gonna get too long, but that's just one thing I noticed. Things just move in this drama in ways where you don't quite know where they are and when they are at what time and how did they pass between people. Maybe it's just the scriptwriter is not careful enough, okay, or maybe it's because different people wrote it. And the reason I suspect different people wrote this story is because there's even bigger turn that doesn't make sense, particularly with the character Song Yizhang, played by Lin Yun. She had this sudden awakening, okay, about like previously her childish, naive, believing men. It got awoken by the experience at the Lin Sansi's place when she got warned by Zhang Haohao and discovered Shen Ruzhuo is a total trash. Okay, that's fine. But the way she made that turn, you think I can do this? I can even smell that you've put stuff in my drink, and then I can even smell poison. She suddenly becomes so forceful. And previously she's a little bit timid all the time. That switch happened way too quickly. And immediately after that, she's like, I don't care about men anymore. Like, men are just like plaything in my life. It almost feels the previous her and afterwards her are written by two people. And it's not just because she suddenly changes her opinion about men. She also just had a different attitude about life. See how later she almost become the teacher of Zhao Pan'er and telling her, you know, how you should live your life and helping her out of her problem. If you want to make that arc happen, which is totally fine for a character, make it happen in steps that incrementally make sense. So that's the point too. Not so ideal on script level, but it's definitely looking at it with magnifying glass, totally, because I've watched it too many times, so I know these things. Finally, the not so ideal things I think about this drama, storytelling wise, is I think the scriptwriter is way too ambitious. She wants to achieve too many things at the same time. And at the same time, she's a little bit behind and outdated in terms of what she thinks is popular today or what the younger audiences, the targeted audiences of this drama wants to see. This scriptwriter has written a couple of other dramas previously, if you've watched them, and you can see the continued thread of her style and the way she looks at the world and characters. Her value or what she thinks is good or bad or all that is a little bit in clash with today's young people's ideas. And that plays into the first part of what I talked about, internet's reaction in China. But the other thing, just on writing itself, this story is trying to do too much. It's trying to do the girl power thing, but at the same time, the romantic story thing. At the same time, adding a little about the historical events, particularly the Empress and Emperor, who are very interesting people in Chinese history, and I probably will make a video on that separately. And then it wants to educate. It has that way of certain characters are acting as teachers. While they're talking in their dialogue, talking to each other, they're also almost trying to teach certain values to the audiences, delivering those important messages to younger people, which does offend young people today. In my opinion, to lighten the load of this drama and actually make it more exciting and less problematic, you should just focus on period idol drama. Two very good looking people, very turbulent but exciting to watch, having all that sort of sweet spot hit right on the audiences, that love story. You should focus on that. The girl business career thing can happen along that. They're trying to make both things as important as each other, and it kind of loses balance. Then it tries to jam in some court politics that's if you don't know how to write it, just don't write it. So basically the scriptwriter is reaching for something that's actually out of her capability. I'll just use one plot that got rented a lot on internet. Basically, Zhao Pan'er discovers that Gu Qianfan's birth father is Xiao Qingyan, and then he is responsible for the demise of her family and her childhood trauma. trauma and all that. And then how she went through the process of thinking through that and then decided, I'm gonna let go of that and then still be with him. There's a lot of hate on that plot in China. Personally, I'm okay. Probably because I already had a lot of Buddhism imbued in me. Since many years ago, I have deep relationship with this and a lot of its teaching. So that scene when she goes to the temple and meets the monk and had that conversation, super short, but totally intentionally put there to be the script writer's way of explaining why she could let it go. To me, it's enough. But a lot of audiences would just still not get it and was like, she just want to marry this really good-looking, high official, rich guy. She just think her better life, her future is more important than the death of her parents. A lot of people attack that point of this drama. I understand where it comes from. That's where I think the scriptwriter is reaching too much and she is not capable of actually fully do the job. You can have this plot with the two characters, star-crossed lovers, having that kind of background. We have seen that many times in Dramaland, and it has strong emotional impact. You have good actors playing it out, it's delicious to look at. But how you get there? There are better ways to write it so that you get what you want. You have the cake, you eat it at the same time. In the process where things make much more sense and probably wouldn't get you in trouble and criticism. And at the same time, making each character more complicated, making the observation on human nature deeper. How I would do it is, at this point when you watch through the whole drama, Wang Luoyong's character, Xiao Qingyan, is from day one, you're told he's a bad guy. He's the ambitious politician who can sacrifice anything, who is super calculative, cunning, that classic bad official image of Chinese history. But then it almost only happens in words. You don't actually see him do a lot of super cunning and clever display of how calculative, cunning, and how many layers and how many steps he can think ahead of other people. You actually don't see that. The writing of this character really doesn't do justice to the name he has. So to make this work better in every way and still make the whole star-crossed lover thing work, I would very early on, leak a little bit cup of sort of plot to make everyone realize that Xiao Qingyan has always known about Zhao Pan'er, even before Gu Qianfan got in contact with her. When she was 9 and when that whole thing happened, he was a smaller official. He doesn't have that much power, and he, in the whole faction fight in court of different power groups, he just has to do what he does. Okay, so he did it. But he knows her father is not a bad guy. He could play a part in eventually rescuing her out of it. That was like 7 years afterwards, because she was 9 and then she was 16. So you could say during 7 years, Gu Qianfan's father, the genius politician, climbed to a high position. He finally had the power to do things. He personally got somebody to get her released. So he always knew it. So that makes him more complicated. Is on one hand he will get what he wants no matter what it costs, but then on the other hand he also has a little bit conscience, which would make him more interesting and a more complicated character. And that would, at the end in the 30th episode, when she finds out who Gu Qianfan really is, plays into the part where when she's arguing with herself about whether I should be with him or not, the father comes in and actually explain it to her and let her know that the political fight of things is never just black and white. Nobody is completely innocent or completely guilty, and it just happens to be, unfortunately, your father get caught in this big fight between different power groups. And I did this. And I'm not asking for your forgiveness, but I owe my son this much. Okay, he suffered a lot due to this and that. I would want you to seriously consider if you want to take a step further. So he can play that important character. That will make Xiao Qingyan's character that much more interesting, but also making Zhao Pan'er's journey of getting to the point where she decides to let go of the past making more sense. So while she's thinking about that, right, you can have Gu Qianfan being the person who steps out and say, I really want to marry you, but I know this is hard for us. If you don't want to marry me, I would totally understand, but I'll be waiting. I don't think I can, after all we've gone through, be with another woman. So if you want to wait 10 years, I'll wait 10 years. You want to wait 50 years till the end of our life, I'll still be waiting there. And then you can leave how she reacts almost to the end of the drama. Basically, you also have that by the riverbank scene, right? When they had that talk, and it's pretty nice. Almost exactly that scene where she's saying, I decided to come back with you, but I haven't decided whether I'm gonna marry you, okay? And he's like, I don't care. So that already happened in the drama. You just need to make what has happened before that a little bit more then it would just flow so much better. And then probably will shut up everybody who had problems with she can so easily, almost within one scene, change her opinion about whether I should marry the guy whose biological father is responsible for the demise of my entire family and clan and whatever. Because traditionally in China, the whole 杀父之仇不共戴天 thing, killing my fathers, that kind of like beef we have with each other is just not forgivable, is a very big thing. For the period setting characters to let it go makes sense, to make it more complicated and more steps. And it's actually a writing opportunity to make 赵盼儿, Xiao Qingyan, also 顾千帆 more complicated. It's just one plot. There are other things in this drama I think can get a rewrite and probably will work much better. Now let's talk about the final point, the happier things, okay, and the effort I've put in to actually get this hair done. I even had things on the back that you're not gonna see throughout the whole video. So the good things about this drama, why I did so many drawings. I'm still editing videos, haven't finished working on it, and I'm really happy that it happened in June. I don't give a shit. To certain people just like think this is the worst drama ever. To me, I don't understand that. I'll never be able to understand that, and emotionally, I'm very satisfied. Number one, I kind of already said that. I dig the CP. It really worked on me. And that's a chemistry thing, that's a mystery thing that cannot be quantified. Just like I said about Hui Langting, certain people really dig the chemistry between the two leads, so they can continue watching that drama while I just totally cannot even bear one more second of it. It happens to be a CP that worked on me, on my aesthetics. I like the looks of them, I like how they played out the super documentary level, caught on camera, real people's interaction, the little eyes and little gestures, the sudden hey ya. Remember that scene when he's walking on the corridor? It's just so almost like caught in the moment, natural reaction. In today's super high artificial sweetener content idol drama from China, in those dramas, you never see this kind of scenes. And in this drama, you see it all the time, in every scene, pretty much, and I just love it. You should thank the actors for that, and I think I would also thank the director. The lady director who knows how to do those scenes. The second thing is, although if you're talking about whether it's accurate to history in terms of costume, props, architecture, food, everything, it's still very far away. Sometimes they do a good job, sometimes no. So it's a mixture of that. But I would say, for example, they showed the dance and the 花月宴, the banquet, and all the replicating of the painting on stage. A contemporary stage with like light chasing around on the stage of the main leads. That's a total contemporary stage, but I accept that and forgive all that definitely not accurate to history thing. It's pretty. And it's based on certain cultural icon of Chinese history, paintings, all that. You just never see another drama do that. This is the first time I think any drama extensively gave you that scene. So I know they haven't done a perfect job and there's so much space for improvement. But overall, they did certain things that I highly appreciate, such as the tea, such as the banquet thing, and give us so many beautiful shots to use in the future for editors, okay? Third thing I want to emphasize is there are a couple of so good supporting roles. Leaving the older guys out, because they're very good, and you always know that, and they've been around for too long to need proving anymore. In this drama particularly, I'll just say I really like the actor Guan Yunpeng playing Chen Lian. His role is so instrumental in the storytelling, and he did it so well. The other guy, really best supporting role casting for the main young cast would be Dai Xu, the actor who played Chi Yanei. He made it the most beloved supporting role in this whole drama. And some people love him more than they love Gu Qianfan's role, which I totally get why, okay? This actor is a genius. He can play comedy, this drama proved that. He can play absolutely bad guy, so bad that you hate him to his bone marrow. That level, he's done it. He's done contemporary dramas, period dramas. He can do anything, and every time he plays a role, you just believe he is it. And this guy is also super active on social media. He daily updates his vlog on Bilibili. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in knowing more about him. You can see like he is the type of actor that directors would just adore, because he would think through his characters and he will figure out where things does not quite make sense, what needs to be changed, or what I can do more to make it even more interesting. And there are a couple of super sort of highlight points in this drama are totally from his own improvisation, not in the script. It's so fortunate for this drama to have found him playing this role. He's born to be an actor, and he's one of those actors who can just have such a longevity career ahead of him. The last thing I really like about this drama is I like the version of the Emperor and Empress. The two actors did a really good job, and Bao Jianfeng actually used to play Liu Yufei's husband and father in the film. That's the weird thing about Drama Land. But anyway, in the drama itself, as the Emperor and Empress, I just like, I dig them. I really like it. Earlier on, when this drama got a lot of hate around the mid-20 episodes and it hasn't still aired the last bit, I was worried about the drama's depiction of the Empress, Liu E, because she's so important in Song Dynasty history, and she's so unusual an empress. People tend to level her with Wu Zetian in terms of their achievement or what they've done to the particular part of the history of their dynasty. Definitely a complicated and very capable person. Because of the virginity problem, I thought, just don't make her weak and trying to prove her virginity to the emperor character, please. Like, I pray so much. Thankfully, the drama didn't go down that route. They did a version that is, I think, good enough and in line with the historical record about this emperor's background, and actually the emperor didn't give a shit to her low birth. So I really appreciate that the drama didn't destroy this historical couple figure who are very interesting. So that's the end of this video. I've had a great time in June 2022 watching Dream of Splendor, and I'm very happy that this drama exists, that it can sort of show more people in this world about the splendor of Song Dynasty, part of China's history. And I'm, again, today fully dressed in very qualified Song Dynasty style costume, gradually getting thinner sleeve that is found in tombs. This also is a replicate in terms of its shape of a Song Dynasty tomb, slightly later than the time that you see in this drama. This is just like something that always have kind of existed in history. The pattern is a little bit more Tang Dynasty than Song, but I think it can work. And I actually made the skirt. It's a type of skirt that has less of a fabric used, more to the aesthetic of Song Dynasty where they like skinny things. So this is called 四破三件裙. I made it myself not so long ago, where you have like this kind of, you have 3 of them, okay, around your waist, and it's a replicate of a historical dress that comes out of a tomb. I'm just really happy that this drama gave me the opportunity to show this, and it has fallen down. One thing about this, okay, is if you don't have anything to glue it to your costume, it's just gonna slide off all the time. So I don't know historically what people use, whether you use a pin. In the drama, it seems like a pin they did so that it doesn't slip off, because it slips off so easily. And this hair. 2 hours of trying to make the hair work. And sometimes it's just impossible for you to do it yourself. It has to be a different person. But I did my best. I hope you've enjoyed this drama and enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.